We have officially been open for about 2 weeks now. We actually had a few new things come in. So last week, the Klipsch Fortes came into the store, and we've been wearing them in, putting hours of use on them with a couple different systems, with the Yamaha RN2000A, with the Advanced Paris MyConnect 250, and with the Cyrus 40 series. And I'm going to show you later a couple things I did to it this week to make it even better. This week we added a few products from Leek. That delivery came early on in the week, so we unboxed them. Probably the Lion King. Kind of heavy. You know, the stuff that's made by Leek and a couple other companies in IAG is really well packaged. So I don't usually show a lot of unboxing stuff, but the packaging on the Leek products is insane. Like, it can make it anywhere. As far as those Leek products go, we got the Leek 230, which is like their integrated amp. We got the Sandwich 150 bookshelf speakers. We actually got the Sandwich 250s as well, but they sold that first day, so they went right out. So now we have a couple Leek products in the store. So let me show you the Leek 230. It's an integrated amp, but it has a couple other features that a lot of integrated amps don't have. So if you look at the inputs, you have a Bluetooth, a USB in, an HDMI ARC, optical, coax. You have auxiliary 1 and 2, and a phono. You got bass and treble controls on the front. You got a pure direct, a balance knob, and of course the volume knob. Now the Leek 230 was actually built as an upgrade from the Leek Stereo 130, adding more power and a couple more functionalities like the HDMI ARC, but it was actually built after the Leek Stereo 30 from 1969, which was only a 15 watt amp, but looked very similar to this. So Leek does a really good job at recreating stuff of the past and holding true to the looks, to the build quality, and even the sound. Now, one thing I can tell you is that compared to the 130, the 230 just has a lot more power, and it sounds even better. There's more behind it. So when we hooked this up, we actually had it in our system over here for a few days, and it really sounded good with not only the Leek Sandwich 150s, but the Klipsch Fortes as well. You can see how good the back is laid out. So you can do one pair of speakers, but I think the key is all the inputs you get there. USB, you got your digital inputs, and of course HDMI ARC, and it has a phono input. So lots of capabilities in a smaller box with a wood cabinet, and then you can get it without the wood cabinet if you want, but I'm not really sure why you would do that, because I think personally the wood cabinet looks really good. And then keeping with those aesthetics, the Sandwich 150s, I love the build of these speakers. I love the silver, and it has that matching wood grain that the amp has. It's a little bright. You might not be able to see it. Go around here. I mean, that is a beautiful speaker. So what I really enjoy about these, like I said, they make them sound like they did in the 60s. And I actually sat down with Peter Comeau, who is the designer of the speakers.
Now I still design for Mission, along with Wharfdale and Quad and Castle and Leek.
And he told me, you know, there's a lot of audiophiles that may criticize that they're not audiophile speakers, but that's not the design that he was going for.
I grew up with a lot of, these are established British brands going back to the 1930s in the case of Wharfdale. And I grew up as a teenager listening to these brands. I would go into hi-fi shops and I'd just listen to what they were playing and could never afford any of it, but it didn't stop me listening. So I know what a Wharfdale should sound like. I know what a Leek should sound like. I mean, I remember going for the first time to a friend's house when I was a schoolboy, and his dad had a complete Leek setup with the Leek Sandwich loudspeakers. Oh my goodness, this was just an extraordinary sound. I remember vividly what that sound was like. And if you listen to the Leek 250 today, which you've got working in your room, that's the sound that I remembered. That's the sound I wanted to capture.
He was going for something that stayed true to the sound of the Leek brand of the 1960s and 70s, and he really accomplished that just so that you can enjoy music without being too critical. He did the same thing with the Wharfdale Lintons. And that's why they came out with the Wharfdale Super Lintons, because the Super Lintons were the audiophile version. They were not replacing the Lintons. They were the audiophile version, just a completely different speaker. But with all the Leek speakers, he stayed true to the sound that you would get from the 1960 speakers. So he did this not only with Leek, with Wharfdale, he did it with Mission as well. And I think that's a really cool thing, to be able to just get enjoyment out of your speakers. Because I mean, really that's what we all want. We just want to, sit down and enjoy our speakers. And sure, there's a time and a place for critical listening and getting more out of your music with audiophile speakers, of course. But sometimes, and in some systems, it's just about enjoying the music. And that is what Leek did in designing those speakers. Now, as you can see, the Leeks were not the only speakers that we added to the store. We have my good friend Andrew Jones's MoFi Source Point 8s. And this is a concentric driver. It's just one driver where the tweeter is actually in the middle. And I spoke to him recently about his design for these, and not only for those, but for the Source Point 10s, which was the first edition, and then they did the tower speakers, which was the Source Point 888s, so it was 3 8-inch drivers. But then they just came out with, actually they're not even shipping yet, is the Source Point V10s. We sat down to talk about why he wanted to make those speakers. There's always good stories when talking to speaker designers. It's nice knowing why someone built something a certain way. And I just enjoy the design. The beveled front on them is really cool. And the grill, if you go over and look at the grill, I don't know if I can pull this off while holding the camera, but it's not a flat grill. It's actually designed to match the front of the speaker. So that is nice, and it got the magnet. Look at that. Soft touch magnet goes right on there. So we've also been listening to the Source Point 8s. Neither the Source Point 8s or the Leeks are really broken in yet, but we've been focusing on the Fortes because they were the first ones to come in. But we will also be breaking in the Source Point 8s and the Leek Sandwich 150s. And of course, we still have the monoacoustic VC1s. We moved those over for right now so that we could wear these in and get some listening hours on the rest of the speakers. Now, hopefully this week we'll get a little bit of time to try out some of the new Audio-Technica VM700 series cartridges. This is my favorite moving magnet cartridge. I use it on most of my turntables. I use the 50, which is right here, and I use the 60, which I actually sold my demo of. It used to be right there. But they did a lot of upgrades to this series, so I'm excited to hear the difference. We still have some of the older cartridges that we can compare them to, so that'll be fun. We'll probably do that on the clear turntable over here, the ATLP A2. And actually, a fun story about this, one of our customers who's up in Canada bought one of these. He has quite a collection of vintage audio. His room is just absolutely filled with the coolest vintage audio stuff. It's lit up nice. But this was the ultimate edition because not only did he get the clear turntable, but he took that turntable and he put LEDs under it so that it would glow different colors as the music played, which is, the one thing that you can do with anything that's acrylic is when you throw LEDs on there, what a difference it makes in his room. I mean, now it's a showpiece. When you look in his room, that's what you see when those LED lights are going. So I really want to do it with ours in the store as well. I just haven't picked out the exact LED strip or anything that I want to do it with. But when I get some time, I want to put LEDs on it so that we can do that. I do want to show you the MyConnect 250 right here. It's a little reflective, but I love the Advanced Paris products. I think they give a really good look between the glowing tubes and the light up LED meters. Now this one, of course, has a CD player and streaming built in. The A12, which is the most popular one, has bigger meters, but it doesn't have the CD player or anything or streaming built in. Now, Advanced Paris did announce that they are making a higher end line. It's got a nice silver, like aluminum brushed front. It looks like brighter displays. The meters look a little bit nicer. So like an upgraded version of the Advanced Paris line. So we're super psyched to get that in as soon as it comes out. I've actually already had several people ask if we're getting it in, and we are. We'll get it in. As soon as it comes out, we will have the new Advanced Paris line in the store for you guys to try out. or order online or whatever it is that you want to do. And talking about ordering online, we had a ton of support this week, and so thank you guys for all the online orders, including people who just ordered the t-shirts. So we just sold our first official shirt, which is awesome. First shirt that we sold in the store. So thanks, Eric, for picking up your All Elite Audio World Tour Crazy Lenny shirt. Tom, I'm sorry you're not on a shirt this year, but next year maybe we'll get you on there too. Thanks, Eric, for your support. This is a great way to support us. Like if you're not looking for new hi-fi gear, it's just, you know, picking up a shirt, throw a little note in there for you, and it's a great way to show off that you are all elite. So he was the first one to get a t-shirt, but we did have several other orders come through. We really don't make any money off the t-shirts, but it's a good way of, you know, getting the brand out there to people. The used section over there, we sold a couple things out of the used section. We just had our first used sale.
Yeah, I saw that.
Michael ordered the Mojo 2, so I'm gonna put that
It is a great little deck.
in there for him. And he gets a free All Elite t-shirt. Nice. So he's pretty excited about that. So the rack's just gotten a little bit thinner. We're gonna have to get more trade-ins.
Yeah.
We got some big plans for the used section. Even though it's just a small room, there's some things coming, some collections coming. So if you haven't signed up on our email list on the website, go to the website, click the pop-up, subscribe to those emails, because we're gonna have some collections coming soon, which might include some vintage stuff to the used section. So not only is it trade-ins that we're accepting, we are accepting trade-ins in the store now. Trade-ins, trade-ups, and consignment to make this room more an event than it is right now, because you know it's just starting out. But that's going to be a fun addition to the store. And I brought out my Quadraspire rack that we've actually been using while filming. I think that's a nice little addition to the store as well. And if you guys didn't see it, we actually had a product video come out this week on the Yamaha RN2000A, which we've been playing with all week on the Klipsch Fortes. It's a great combination. Actually, a couple of people watching said they had that exact combination in their house. So I highly recommend it. It's a great network receiver. And we're trying to get like one product video out per week. And we don't really have like a schedule. It's kind of like whatever we're playing with that week is what's going to come out. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys. If you haven't seen this, we do have everything powered by this Niagara 5000 down here from AudioQuest. Probably shouldn't have it totally hidden, but we do have some surprises in the doors from time to time. And over here, there is actually something in this one that I haven't hooked up yet, but it's an essential. Can you guess what it is? It's an essential thing for all hi-fi systems. It is the Duke Audio AB speaker and amp box. So it also glows all different colors. And you can hook 2 amps to it and 2 pairs of speakers. So especially in this kind of demoing environment, this is an essential thing to have. So we don't have it hooked up yet, but we will. If you guys are looking for something to play 2 speakers, 2 amps, and switch back and forth, it's a great way to expand your hi-fi system. You can add an amp, you can add another pair of speakers without having to take anything away. So I'll link that below. If you're looking to order one of those. Another fun event this week, because we're right by the Maryland State Fairgrounds. So there's events all the time at the fairgrounds. So me and Tom decided to go to a toy show because I saw on Instagram, one of the accounts I follow was setting up at this toy show in Timonium. And I'm like, dude, I've never actually been to a toy show. And while I'm more of a minimalistic person, I still collect things here and there, but I'm not like a avid collector of anything. But it's really nice to see some of the things that you grew up seeing in stores or collecting in the past, or that you didn't have the money to buy. So it was fun kind of going out there. Now, we did get something, or Tom got something, because lately we've been into kind of ripping trading card packs open. And look, I'm not a trading card collector or anything like that, and Tom really isn't either. He enjoys hockey, so he gets the hockey cards. But the thrill of opening something, trying to find like a specific card or a specific collector's item is pretty cool. When we went to the toy show, he did find some boxes of hockey cards. And he was looking for like one card. He got another really nice card last week in the first box that he actually ordered. And during the show, he's like, I'm just going to buy a box. He actually ended up getting 2 boxes, I think. And he ripped them open while we were walking around and actually got that one card that he's been looking for or that he wanted. Now he's pretty much done. So I don't know what he's going to do now. I don't know if we're going to be ripping open other types of cards or we're just going to stop. So we had a great time. They also had a food and wine festival going on at the same time. We didn't go over there, but there was a lot of people over there, lots of tents of food, but you can only do so many events. The parking lot was packed because of both of these events. Now, I didn't talk too much about the Cyrus 40 system this week, but something really cool happened. So I was doing a software update on the system, and I noticed something on the back of the units that I've never seen before. So where you put the Ethernet cable in, typically, it's just a connection. There's no lights, anything like that. The Cyrus series, the Series 40, actually has the blinking green and yellow lights to tell you that the connection is stable and that you're connected to the internet. Now, I haven't seen that feature on any other components, unless I'm wrong. But in recent memory, seeing the blinking lights on the back, I know it's a little feature that many people probably don't care about. But knowing that you're connected just when you plug it in like that is so cool. Another thing that people have been super excited about lately and have taken us up on this offer is you can actually bring in a piece of your hi-fi gear to try on new speakers. If you have an amp and you want to hear what the speakers will sound like with your amp, you can bring it in. People have been pretty excited about that. You can bring your turntable in, try a new cartridge on it, because you want to get the right upgrade. You just don't want to be told whatever the next best thing is that's come out. You really want to get the thing that works the best with your system. And that's what we work every day to try to do better. And being able to bring in a piece of your gear, like an amp if you're looking for speakers, or if you're looking for a new streamer, you can do that here. And quick shout out to these guys. The Silent Angel streamers, I can't say it enough. If you haven't used these yet, there's no frills, right? There's no screens, but you can see these things are built so well and they sound amazing. The guys that came up with Silent Angel were actually network guys who were just big audiophiles. So they wanted to take that ability and turn it into a product, and they really hit a home run. Everybody that's ordered Silent Angel has absolutely loved it. That's week 2 at All Elite Audio, our second week open. And I can't wait till we start getting more trade-ins, till we start getting consignment collections that come in, because that's when I'm going to be able to show you all those things that are going to be filling our used room over here. So guys, I will see you next time.